In 1893, Chicago was celebrating. The World's Fair had transformed the city into a glowing symbol of progress, innovation, and modern life. Millions of visitors arrived from around the world to walk through the dazzling streets of the White City, marveling at electricity, architecture, and the promise of a new century. But just a short distance away from the fairgrounds stood another building, one that looked ordinary from the outside. It was a large hotel, built to accommodate the endless stream of tourists arriving in the city. To anyone passing by, it appeared harmless, even welcoming. What no one realized was that inside this building, every wall, hallway, and room had been carefully designed for one purpose: death. This was the murder castle. The man behind it was Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, a charming and intelligent physician who arrived in Chicago with an air of respectability. He was well-spoken, handsome, and polite, and people trusted him easily. Holmes purchased a large plot of land and announced plans to build a 3-story hotel for visitors attending the World's Fair. From the beginning, the construction raised eyebrows. Holmes hired and fired construction crews constantly, often dismissing workers after only a few days. No single group was ever allowed to see the entire structure. Each crew worked on a small section before being replaced. The reason was simple and horrifying. Holmes did not want anyone to understand the true layout of the building. Only he knew what was hidden inside the walls. When the hotel finally opened, guests entered what seemed like a normal lodging house. However, once inside, the building revealed its true nature. The interior was a maze designed to confuse and disorient. Staircases led nowhere. Hallways twisted back on themselves. Doors opened onto brick walls or empty shafts. Some rooms could only be locked from the outside, ensuring that once a guest was trapped, escape was impossible. The bedrooms were where the real horror waited. Several rooms were sealed airtight and lined with metal plates, turning them into suffocation chambers. Others were fitted with hidden gas pipes connected to Holmes' private office. From his desk, he could quietly release gas into a room while his guests slept, watching and waiting as their lives slipped away. He observed his victims through peepholes hidden in the walls, treating their deaths as experiments rather than crimes. Once the guests were dead, Holmes had no need to move their bodies by hand. The building itself took care of that. Behind the walls were hidden chutes and secret elevators that allowed bodies to be dropped directly from the upper floors into the basement below. The basement was not a storage space. It was a factory of death. There, Holmes had installed dissection tables, acid vats, and pits filled with quicklime designed to dissolve flesh. He stripped bodies down to the bone, carefully cleaning and articulating skeletons. These skeletons were then sold to medical schools, turning murder into profit. Holmes was not only killing his guests, he was running a business built on their deaths. For years, people vanished in Chicago, and few connections were made. Travelers came for the World's Fair and were never seen again. Their disappearances were blamed on crime, accidents, or the chaos of a growing city. Holmes remained above suspicion, continuing his operation in plain sight. His downfall did not come from murder. It came from greed. Holmes was eventually arrested for insurance fraud, and during the investigation, police began uncovering the truth hidden inside the hotel. In the basement, they found human bones mixed with animal remains, along with jewelry, watches, and personal belongings belonging to missing visitors. The scale of the crimes was beyond anything authorities had imagined. Holmes confessed to 27 murders, but investigators believed the true number could be far higher, possibly reaching 200 victims. When asked about his nature, Holmes reportedly claimed that he had been born with the devil inside him. Shortly after his arrest, the murder castle was destroyed by fire, taking many of its secrets with it. The building vanished, but the horror it contained did not. The story of Holmes became a chilling reminder that monsters do not always hide in shadows or legends. Sometimes, They designed the rooms we sleep in. If stories like this reveal how darkness can exist behind ordinary walls, consider subscribing to The Short Chapter, where we uncover the true stories history tried to bury.